Dearly beloved, we have gathered here today to get through this thing called Mix CD. My name is Mike, part of the SPDM crew, and I love making Mix CDs. Each week, we give our guests a theme and an 80-minute time limit for which songs they're going to pick for their Mix CD. This week, we are going over stand-up comedy bits, and this will be the first of, again, another many-part series that I'm sure will come up because as I kind of just open the door and the Pandora's box of all the different things that could come up for stand-up comedy stuff. I realized that 120 minutes just or 100, yeah, 80 minutes was simply not enough time to get all the stand-up comedy bits that I just love in here. Now, let me preface this with a couple things. One, comedy's subjective, so chill out if you didn't find this funny. But more importantly, also, this is just my own personal list. So if there's something in here that you found offensive, I'm sorry for that. But also, again, this is why it's my list. So I've got Wyatt Cenac talk about medieval times. This is great because we have a medieval times bias and taking he talks about how like when he turned 30 he went to medieval times. So good stuff there. I've got Greg Giraldo. He is he calls out somebody who fell asleep during his performance. Louis C.K. This is why I prefaced at the very beginning that comedy is subjective, and Louis C.K. is somebody who's just very polarizing, so I get that. But I've just got his just one random one that he does on Dumb Thoughts that I really like. Aziz Ansari, who did his thing, the whole thing that he does about R. Kelly is just really great. Eliza Schlesinger, she's got a Netflix special. It's called War Paint, and there's a part where it talks about girls' night and what all women have to do in order to get ready to go out. Gary Goldman does something on Blockbuster versus Netflix, which is kind of it's part of his comedy special in this economy. I've got Hannibal Buress, and he talks about whack writing, and he specifically calls out the college that I went to and the newspaper there, which I find really funny. Eddie Murphy, his whole thing about the ice cream man. I This may be my favorite stand-up comedy routine of all time. Brian Regan talks about being stupid in school and talks about being in a spelling bee. The Patton Oswalt, he does a bit where he talks about his second favorite Christmas memory of all time is when he went to go see Jerry Maguire with his brother. Dane Cook, and he's talking about somebody who heckles him at a Burger King. Mitch Hedberg talks about Smacky the Frog. Lewis Black talking about Democrats and Republicans, and Joe Coy talking about his mom and if he loses something. And as somebody who's also got a Filipino mom, I can relate to that. So that is the first part of a stand-up comedy album. I do would have like an empty stage with a spotlight on there, a la Seinfeld, but that those are the stand-up comedy specials for this first one. Just let me know if I missed anything in the comments below. Oh, I forgot one. I forgot one. It's John Mulaney, and he talks about which word is worse, a word for little people or the N word. He talks about which one is worse from Standards and Practice Group. Well, my friends, the time has come to end this episode of Mix CD. Be sure to like, rate, and subscribe to anything and everything SPDM Crew wherever you get your podcast. Join us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, YouTube, and Blue Sky at SPDM Crew. Check out our website soon to be out at spdmcrew.com. You could follow our playlist on Spotify and Apple Music at Mike Hilty.
Shout out to High Flyer Creative Studios for making our awesome logo. Greatly appreciate their support. And if you have any marketing, logo, or brand standard needs, contact them at highflyercreative.com. If you've got a podcast idea or you're interested in being part of the SPDM crew as a guest or collaborating, email us at spdmcrew@gmail.com. Until next time, no matter what happens now, you shouldn't be afraid because I know today has been the most perfect day I've ever seen.